Good morning. Welcome to the Kehillat Shari Torah Daily Halacha Review for Wednesday, November 11th, Remembrance Day. The next chapter here, we've been talking over the last number of days about various preparations for Shabbat. So he has a section here called Lechem Mishnah, using two chalot, at each Shabbos meal. A double portion of manna, of man, fell on Friday, as we know, half of which was set aside for Shabbos. You weren't allowed to go out to the desert and gather your manna on Shabbos. So Hashem sent us a double portion of man, double portion of manna, and as a remembrance of that double portion, each meal we eat on Shabbat, so Friday night, Shabbos day, and for those who wash and eat bread for Seudah Shlishit, for Shalosh Seudos, we are also supposed to have Lechem Mishnah, two chalas. The poskim debate whether this is a Torah commandment or a rabbinic commandment. The obligation applies on the Yom Tov Suda as well. The chalas should be placed on the table before you make Kiddush. Shulchan Aruch says that Lechem Mishnah is required at the third meal. Ramah says that if you only have one, that's acceptable, but better to use two chalas. Who's obligated? Women and men alike, because we all benefited from the miracle, from the nace of the manna. And children who have reached the age of chinuch, educable children, let's say, should be trained in this mitzvah of Lechem Mishnah also. Ideally, those who are being exempted from their obligation of Lechem Mishnah by the person who's saying Hamotzi should not be scattered all over the house. They should be sitting around the table when Kiddush and Hamotzi are recited. B'diavad, after the fact, even if they weren't all sitting in one place, they are Yotze. They fulfill the obligation, the requirement of Lechem Mishnah, as long as the person leading the meal, leading this part of the meal, had two chalas. Good to have the family members in mind or all the guests, whoever it is, when the person's making Hamotzi, and they in turn should intend to be exempted by the person making Hamotzi over two challah rolls, two loaves of challah. Many have the custom when being yotze, when fulfilling their obligation through another, with the person making the bracha, they do not recite their own bracha upon receiving the slice of challah. In other words, the procedure is with the person who has two challahs says the bracha motzi lechem min haaretz, slices it up or tears it apart in some parts of the Jewish world, distributes that to people, dips it in salt or honey if it's Rosh Hashanah, distributes that to people and they eat it, because the bracha of hamotzi that the blesser said covers everybody. However, some have the custom to make their own bracha. That's the point he wanted to bring out. Shulchan Aruch Harav, Mishnah Brura, Aruch HaShulchan, others. Some say that you should make your own separate bracha when you get your meal. Custom in our family has always been, at our table has always been, that people generally hear the hamotzi as it's made over the Lechem Mishnah and then just eat. Maybe here and there seen some people who make their own separate hamotzi, but not so commonplace. The Shabbos bread is called challah to remind us to separate the appropriate amount for hafrashas challah. Where does challah get its name? Because there's a mitzvah of challah. When you need a dough, a certain amount of dough, you're supposed to take challah, you're supposed to be mafresh, separate challah. Those challahs are, that portion of challah is supposed to be given to kohanim. In our days, they can't eat it because they have to be in a state of purity, so we burn it. We have to take it. We're not allowed to eat it, and neither are they, so we burn it. The challahs are made in the shape of a vav, because vav plus another vav, two long challahs, equals 12. That is the number of lechem apanim, show breads that were on the special table, the special golden table called the shulchan in the temple. It's also noted that the 6 braids on each challah equal 12, if you have braided challah like that. Some say you should use two challahs that have the same appearance. According to this view, you shouldn't use a bulka roll, just a little challah and a large challah. Others disagree, and the custom is in fact like that, according to Tzitz Eliezer, Rabbi Eliezer Waldenberg, who we've mentioned a few times in our conversations before, say that as long as you have two, they do not have to be identical. Okay? More on this tomorrow. Just remind everyone again that today is Remembrance Day. We're thankful and mindful and grateful to those who made sacrifices large and small for freedom and liberty and democracy and all the blessings of contemporary society that we enjoy. It's not free. It certainly comes with a price, and we are eternally grateful to those who put on uniforms on our behalf and put themselves in harm's way. Have a good day. Join us tomorrow. Bye-bye.